Hi everyone, I'm joined today with Joel, who's one of our really talented account managers here at Reef. And Joel's going to talk a little bit about a quite a specific, but also quite a common issue that has cropped up that we face with clients over the recent times that we're living through. So, Joel, do you want to explain a little bit more about what this is and the context behind it?
Yeah, sure. So the majority of our clients have been putting up public service announcements, media releases, and blog content in response to the pandemic. And the intention by any means isn't to profit from the crisis at all. In fact, every industry from the nonprofit sector right through to e-commerce is looking for ways to advise their existing community and set clear expectations up for new users. And we've had some clients who facilitate medical tests, for example, and access to treatment for various conditions. And their priority is to ensure their community continues to access those medications so their health isn't negatively affected, as one example. Others are transitioning their face-to-face services to online delivery for the first time, and they want to make sure that their messaging is sensitive to the current climate, but also explains how they've pivoted strategy, that they're still here and that they're still open for business. It's about three things really, like clarity, sensitive communication, and maintaining visibility within your industry or sector. And one of the questions that everyone is asking is, how do I make sure my page, blog post, media release, what have you, is visible and can be found in organic search? And a big part of that is, should I be using the word COVID-19 or coronavirus? Which is more likely to get me found or help my community access the information they desperately need?
Okay, so how did you go about solving this then? What was kind of the approach to the solution?
As a keyword group, any search terms containing COVID-19 or coronavirus are unobtainable via paid search campaigns for most organizations right now. This is because Google and YouTube have placed significant restrictions and compliance policies on who may advertise and under what circumstances. The good news is that you can still rank for these keywords organically. So really what we're looking at is optimization for organic keywords.
Okay, so let's talk about keywords just for a second. So can you talk a little bit more about keyword optimization specifically, and any kind of related information and insights around that topic?
Sure. Tools such as Keyword Planner and SEMrush provide detailed lists of COVID-19 related search terms and monthly search volumes. Consider these examples from the SEMrush Keyword Magic tool. Now let's look at the same keywords using COVID-19 instead of coronavirus. At first, the answer seems very clear. Coronavirus has a much higher usage than COVID-19, which means we should optimize for the former by default. But it actually doesn't matter as much as you think it does. All these numbers represent is how many users are on average typing the phrase into a search engine search bar on a monthly basis. Really, it doesn't take into account how the ranking algorithm interacts with your content.
So just on the ranking algorithm then, there's something called semantic search, isn't there, that applies to search engines in that kind of context?
Exactly. So search engines, particularly Google, understand that COVID-19 and coronavirus are two ways of referring to the same disease. It is called semantic relevance. You're exactly correct. This means that regardless of which term you use, you are capitalizing on the search volumes for both keyword groups because they are actually one unified keyword group. It's not a matter of choosing between coronavirus and COVID-19, but either incorporating a balanced use of both or negotiating which better fits your brand and voice.
Great, thanks for sharing those insights. And just before we wrap up this call, any kind of key takeaways or anything else you want to add?
Yeah, don't harbor too much anxiety over the decision. Use what makes sense for your organization. We've had some clients who use COVID-19 because they operate in the medical space and it is contextually appropriate for them to speak more clinically. We've had other clients who work with children and they prefer to use coronavirus because that meets the need for softer messaging that their audience is more receptive to. If you're still stuck, or perhaps you have a CEO, a head of department, or a comms team who are tightly controlling the messaging and are hung up on using one over the other, the solution in that case is to use both interchangeably throughout the copy and really just give them their preferred one on the title and URL. It really doesn't matter that much. You can rank in organic search no matter which one you choose.
Great. Thanks, Joe. Great insights there. So that kind of wraps up this call. So I'll let you get back to your day and catch you all next time.